All right, unfortunately my video got cut off, so here I'm gonna go back. This is my eastern box turtle enclosure with a couple of North American wood turtles also. It's pretty densely planted. It has a nice big Laguna tub sunk in the ground. All the wood turtles hibernate in this, as well as in the last enclosure. They hibernate in the 50-gallon tubs. Again, aerated, and I drop a bird bath heater in there. So that works pretty well. This top is covered in plastic, which I'll probably end up showing you later on come wintertime. There's a pretty nice yellow female Eastern I've had for years. There's another one right there. And there's a few juveniles lurking around in here too that do just fine with all these guys. But now that I actually want to find them, I'm not going to be able to. So, all right, well, and you can see there's the aerator. I ran all the air line up in the wire of the cages and just drop it in the center. I had it laying on the ground before, but that was a disaster. They would always drag it out. So I just dropped it in the center and let it hang. All right, here's another one of the little boxes. This is for some juvenile box turtles, mostly all Gulf Coast. So, and then this enclosure here, I ran some shade cloth over the top. I got to do that with the next one too. I never got another piece, but it does help. It does give them a little bit of shade. It does get pretty darn hot here, and this is not a forest, so it's a little harder to keep shady when we got 90 plus degree days and it's sunny as heck. So about every night in the spring and summer, I walk up here and I look for females nesting in all the different groups. So usually they always lay in the evening or start in the evening and then lay into the night. So I have a pretty good amount of time to kind of check them out. But I do miss them occasionally. So just kind of show you this, and then I'm going to go around to the other side again. Here's actually that Gulf Coast that just laid. That's posted on my Instagram page. Here as a little side enclosure here, I've got a little group of Hermann's tortoises. I had some plants growing in here, but they pretty much demolished them. So I'm going to go back and try again. But these are the really high yellow Hermanns, kind of like Golden Greeks. And then I have a couple normal ones mixed in. They all come from the same area. So they all came from the same, I actually talked to the person that sent them to the importer in our country. So I got pretty good information from them. I guess they occur in the wild there, just like the typical patterned ones, just not quite as commonly. So hopefully over the years I will end up having some babies out of these guys. That'd be great. All right, so let's move on again. This is another group of Gulf Coast box turtles. These are, I've had these guys for quite some time. I have about a dozen babies in here, and some of them are now almost reaching maturity. Maybe not quite yet, but I think in the next year or two they will. Here's a young one. This one is not one of the babies, it's just a younger one. Just buried in the mud. So it's definitely very densely planted as well. This is another Laguna tub buried in the ground. These things are about 16 inches deep. So this thing is full of dirt and sand and, you know, just real nice kind of mucky bottom pool like they would have in the wild. And then, I don't know if you can see, but in the back, kind of underneath that grass, is a female sitting there. There's probably half a dozen turtles in this pond just chilling right now. All right. By the way, these all stay out throughout the winter. These have been out for, I think, 4 years here. And they tolerate our winter pretty well, minus the fact that I have to cover these things with plastic to just protect them from the really harsh temperature. Here's a group of 3 toes. Here's a captive bred one right here. There was one sitting there earlier. So these have 30-gallon stock tanks buried in them. There's a pair of wood turtles in here that are young. In fact, there's one right there. And then, well, there's at least one female 3-toe chilling in the water. And there's one in the back trying to come up. This is actually one of my favorite groups of box turtles. They're really, this particular locale of them is really colorful and nice. So I love hatching these guys out and raising them up and seeing what they end up looking like. All right, so on to the next enclosure. By the way, these are cut in half. So this one is, all these enclosures are 10 by 10. These are 5 by 10. So I kind of did that because I needed the space. I needed to get some turtles outside, and I just didn't have the extra enclosure built yet. So I just divided them in half. So this one has also a couple more wood turtles. And then these are Florida box turtles here. All right, so there's one in the back. You can see this water with all these plants. I mean, it's pretty clear on some of them. Some of them are much more murky. But the turtles just absolutely love it. These box turtles are really quite aquatic. If you have box turtles and you don't give them lots of water, you really should. They really need it. I was given a lot of wood turtles to raise. This is why I have so many. I've been raising them, and I have a bunch of extra males that will probably be going at some point because I don't need them, but they're all kind of dispersed throughout these enclosures so that they're not fighting and they're not overcrowded. But you know, I got to do what I got to do for now. So this is kind of the side. I got a few things planted in front here, like some sunflowers. That's why it's all wired off. It's wired off because of these demon birds here, these chickens. All they do is get into all my stuff and wreck it if it's not enclosed. But no, they're great. Love their eggs. Here's a little visitor we have. This is our little mini pig, Beatrice. We've had her for about 10 years. She actually lives with the chickens, which is what that whole back hut area is, but I usually let her out every day just to roam in the grass and, you know, eat whatever she wants to eat. So, let's see. Let's go. You want to go in? Yep. No? All right, we'll just leave it. All right, so this is the greenhouse that I built. All right. I do cover this in plastic in the winter, but I haven't really used it through the winter besides to help grow greens a little earlier. But right now, I have radiated tortoises and Burmese stars in here. These are my bigger guys. All right, their little hideout was fine and dry, but since we've been getting so much rain, it's a little muddy. So I'm gonna actually build that up quite a bit with some extra dirt that we have and give them a much drier spot. That's just getting too gross for me. So this thing's approximately 17 feet by 17 feet. I have this started on as 3 raised beds, and then I just built the structure around it. So I now have the outside raised beds kind of fenced off from these tortoises. You know, it doesn't take much to keep them in or out. So it's all fenced off. This bed here is where I get the majority of my greens or weeds to feed my tortoises. And I'm kind of trying to keep it this way. The rest of it, they have to roam. They have to eat. They've eaten most of it down, but I continuously throw them stuff. But they love it out here. And this year I'm going to try to actually make this usable all winter and see if I can keep them out year round. It would be great to keep them on the ground warm instead of in an enclosure, you know, inside in a basement. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, I'm going to try to continue to post more videos and more stuff and just kind of show you what I do and see if I can grow this channel. If you want to like and subscribe, that'd be cool. If you want to just check it out, that's great too. So, all right, have a great day. Over and out.